Good evening, everybody, and welcome at Franky and Coen's Ukraine Insight, the last episode of the season. A lot of information came in today, so a lot we have to talk about. Of course, we have today live from near the front in Bakhmut, Alyona Gramova, like every week. We have Rick, the Ukrainian. He will give us giving also latest information of the week, whatever happened last days. And then we have here live in the show Jan Willem Visser from On My Way UA, and of course on my left side, back from his holiday, Koen van Oosten.
And Franky van Coen.
So everybody, hello, and let's start directly with the latest news. Yes, a lot of news, as we said already. A lot is going on in Ukraine and in Russia. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. But also in the news, very important, F-16 airplanes, they are coming to Ukraine. Let's have a look at the video.
President Biden just told the allies that the U.S. will support efforts to train Ukrainian pilots on F-16 fighter jets. Zelensky desperately wants those planes inside his country.
A lot of European countries do have a supply of F-16s, and they have expressed a willingness and a desire to send them to Ukraine. Of course, Ukraine has been pleading for the jets for several months, but it was not clear whether the U.S. would approve the transfer of those jets, which it has to do because of sensitive U.S. technology in them. Well, now, not only are we told that the U.S. is prepared to allow the allies to export those jets, they are also prepared to join this coalition of trainers who will be instructing Ukrainian pilots on these jets in Europe in the coming months. This training, importantly, is not expected to actually happen in the United States, but it will happen in Europe, and it will happen in conjunction with some of these European allies who have been pushing for this kind of training and provision of jets to Ukraine, including the Netherlands and the UK, John.
It looks like that the airplanes are really coming to Ukraine and they're going to be used by the Ukraine. What do you think, Koen? Will this be a game changer?
They will be a big game changer. They're more advanced than the airplanes the Russians have. The Russians have a little bit similar airplanes, but the most airplanes that the Russians still have, there are the old planes.
It will take some time to train the pilots.
Yes.
It's not like that the pilot can just hop in this kind of airplane and go. So how long it will take?
At least 4 to 6 months to train, and then also they have to learn about the missiles on the planes, how to use them at the right way.
So if all is going good, in let's say 4 or 5 months, this airplanes will be operative?
No.
It will take longer?
I think it will take longer. And end of the year, beginning of next year. We already halfway this year, almost.
Yeah.
As it goes.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this, Jan Willem, that the planes and all the kind of weaponry that Ukraine needs. So Europe and Western world is supporting Ukraine. Do you think it's going to make a big change?
Yes, I think, look, you see now already that more weapons are coming into Ukraine. Without these weapons from the West, probably Ukraine would have been lost already. Yeah. And now look how brave they are and how they managed to defend themselves.
Yeah, they're more motivated than the Russians. That's exactly already a very, very big thing. And the motivation we also see with the soldiers near to Bakhmut.
Yes,
we have been quite near to Bakhmut ourselves, and a lot has happened in Bakhmut. The Wagner Group claims that they had fully control of Bakhmut, as they told in the video. Let's have a look.
Today at 12 o'clock lunchtime, we took full control of Bakhmut. The operation to take full control of Bakhmut lasted for 224 days, which started on the 8th of October 2022, to give the tired Russian army the possibility to regain some strength. For 224 days, there was only Wagner guys roaming the city. Unlike Konashenkov said it, there was no one to help us. We only helped ourselves.
Let's start with what he said. They had full control. Do you believe that they had full control of Bakhmut?
No, they don't have the full control. From
Well, we have some inside information.
So that is not completely true, and maybe they have a lot of Bakhmut, but around Bakhmut they are.
Firstly, Bakhmut itself, they did not have full control. They had maybe 95%, but around Bakhmut is happening a lot. Like the Ukrainian soldiers are taking more and more. It's already a half a circle around Bakhmut.
They try to close them in.
Do you think it was on purpose? It was a trick, or is it? What do you think?
This is a trick, 100%. And if you close around and you close the side off with rockets or artillery at the other side of Bakhmut, then you close all the Russians.
Then you need a full circle. If they have a half circle, they still can go out, and that's what has been told. That the Wagner group says that they will leave on 25th. Well, that's in a few days from now.
Why they do that?
And then, do you think the Russian army is going to defend Bakhmut? Was it just we need Bakhmut if it's only one day, but we need to show we have Bakhmut, which is not even true? Or
I think that is the point. No, 100%. That is the point. They want to show we have control, we have success in Bakhmut for the Russian people.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the same opinion?
Yeah, it seems that what I understood is that Bakhmut is military, not that important, but Putin needs to show something. He needs to show something to his people.
There's a lot of gas in that area.
Okay. Yeah.
In the ground, so we're not sure about it. Well,
but I hope they close in and win Bakhmut back.
Well, we will get more information about it, maybe even later in this show, but for sure this will continue, and in the next following days, weeks, months, all is going to be clear.
I don't hope months.
No, I don't hope months. Let's let it be sooner. Then we have Zelensky. He traveled a lot last week. He was in Italy, he was in Vatican, I believe he was in France, he was
Middle East.
in the G7 in the Middle East. The Middle East is very interesting. We have a video about that.
I like that video.
Who defends his native land from invaders, and anyone who defends children of his nation from enslavement. Every such warrior is on the path of justice. And I'm proud to represent such warriors and the entire Ukrainian people. Ukrainians has never chosen the war. Our troops didn't go to other lands. We do not engage in annexations and plunder of other nations' resources. And I'm also sure all your nations will understand the main call I want to leave here in Jeddah, a noble call to all of you to help protect our people, including Ukrainian Muslim community. And I'm more than sure that none of you will agree to surrender a third of your country to the invaders. And I'm more than sure none of you would watch without a fight how foreigners steal the children of your people. Hundreds of thousands of our children are deported to Russia, separated from their relatives. And there in Russia, they are trying to teach our children to hate their natives. And I am more than sure that none of you would admit the military occupation of a nuclear plant to use it to blackmail the world with nuke disaster.
Yes, firstly, it was a beautiful speech.
Yeah.
Beautiful, very clear, and I think for anyone who watches this video, anyone who sees this speech, can only choose for Ukrainian side.
Yes,
I think there's no doubt about it.
He hits all the right points what every country stands for.
Yes.
For his own people.
They could use extra support from the Arabic side because not all of the Arabic countries are behind Ukraine. But if you see this, he mentions children been stolen away and been set up against.
I was shocked how much children there were. He said 100,000.
Do you remember when we were in the train, there was an American guy who was making a documentary about it. Already then he said that. That's one. He is very clear about it's our country. There's no doubt about it. It's our country, and they take away a big part of our country. He's describing it so wonderful, very good.
And also the beginning of the war, the grain they take away.
Yeah.
And maybe still does.
Yeah, there's still any kind of thing, and of course that's the grain is the wheat is very important economically. What do you think? Will it change the mind of these Arab countries which were not behind or are not behind the Ukraine?
I think it could, because what Zelensky is so good in his performance, in his speeches. Because with some politicians you have after 10 seconds like this, but with him he's strong. Power. Everything he says is like boom, boom, boom.
But there's another thing. It's not only the power, but until now, you don't see any lies. When you see news from Russia, very often it's very clear that it's not true.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
And this is clear. And
100%.
Most of it is proven. It's very easy to see. Well, the biggest news.
Yeah, it's real big news today.
In weeks is in Belgorod, which is on the other side of the border, so it's in the Russian side of the border, in Belgorod.
Today.
Happening a lot today. We have also, it's the latest news, so it was very difficult to find good video, but we have a video about this. Let's have a look.
Егор, что-то страшное творится.
Что-то, да.
Что это? Я не знаю.
Мы такие же россияне, как и вы. Мы такие же люди, как и вы. Мы хотим, чтобы наши дети росли в мире и были свободными людьми, чтобы они могли путешествовать, учиться и просто были счастливы в свободной стране. Но этому нет места в современной путинской России, прогнившей насквозь от коррупции, вранья, цензуры, ограничений свобод и репрессий. В той России, где жизнь человека значит меньше, чем кошелек чиновника. В той России, где прокладывают отдельную железную дорогу в резиденцию бункерного деда, вместо того, чтобы отремонтировать дороги в регионах. В диктаторской стране, где за призывы к миру детей разлучают с родителями, а подросткам дают пожизненные сроки. Но диктатуре Кремля пришло время положить конец. Спасибо всем тем, кто поддерживает нас, кто отправляет нам донаты и курит там, где надо. Ваша поддержка – это то, что каждый день напоминает нам о нашей финальной цели на Красной площади. Будьте смелыми и не бойтесь, потому что мы возвращаемся домой. Россия будет свободной.
Yes. In addition to this video, nobody knows exactly what's happening, but there's been a lot of explosions in the area around Belgorod. There's a lot happening. Nobody knows exactly what's happening. On the border has been happening a lot. There's a lot of armed soldiers attacking these towns, this area. The organization calls itself Freedom of Russia, but it's not clear what's happening. What do you think, Koen? What's happening?
Yeah, there's a good point. The information is new, but what we hear about what's happening, that the villages around Belgorod are already occupied. But
freed,
yes. But what I also see that they have the badges on from Ukraine.
Yeah, because they are behind Ukraine. That's for sure. That's clear. But it's not. Yeah, it's very difficult to say what's exactly happening. More news maybe later during the show, because we will talk to Aljona, we will talk to Rick.
Yeah, maybe see more new information.
Maybe there's more information coming in. But this is the latest news for as far we can go right now. Let's go to Aljona.
Je hebt ook wel een aardige collectie badges, hè? Huh? Was even moeilijk.
Hi Aljona, good evening. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm with you.
It's so difficult job you have to report about the latest news, because we see some latest news coming in, but we have no clear information. There's a lot going on. What is your opinion? What do you think?
You in Belgorod?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know what to think about the situation. I know these guys. This is the Legion Freedom of Russia. They also fighting here in Bakhmut. It was last October. I also make a video how they fighting with Ukrainian army. I know this legion, and I have information. This is the flame of Russian volunteers also there. I don't know what is going on, but I see today. It's not joke for Belgorod today, because I see many video like people trying to make evacuation, many cars. That's why I think something going on there, and I see also the map. Why this situation is going on, I don't know, guys. It's difficult for me to understand. Maybe because many information right now from Russia about the Bakhmut. Actually, I wanted to say about Bakhmut, if you give me 1 minute, yeah?
Yes, sure.
Actually, this week was very difficult to get there, to work with the militaries, to get close to front line, and we understand the situation is very bad and very difficult. Also to get this week to Chasiv Yar. Like you remember, this is this small city very close to Bakhmut. 2 weeks ago, one journalist died there, and right now situation for journalists, it's very difficult. And this week we work in another districts, but yesterday I was meeting one of my friends, and just yesterday in the morning they was in Bakhmut. They standing there 4 days with the group. Of course, he said this is the hell. This is really hell. Ukrainian army still there. We control one part of Bakhmut. It's not a big part. It's very small part. It's close to Konstantinovka and this road. Russian trying to take this road to Konstantinovka. If you remember, Konstantinovka, Drushkovka, and then Kramatorsk.
But this part of Bakhmut is called Aeroplane. Is that the part?
Yes, airplane, yes. And it's still by the control of Ukrainian army. Yes, it's very difficult to work there. I'm just saying what my friend told me about Bakhmut. They have to be in there 6 days, but many shellings, and they only 4 days standing there, and then they have to go to Kramatorsk. But Ukrainian army still in this region, airplane in Bakhmut. If you see the video, we a couple minutes ago, we see the video with the Prigozhin. Actually, about Prigozhin, I think it's a showman for me. You know, he's always speaking many, but not always it's true, you know. And I see this part of the city with the где они ставили флаги? Переведи, пожалуйста, Фрэнки.
Where they put the flags, yes?
Yes. This is the middle of the city. Of course, they right now control it more part of Bakhmut, but this video was made in the middle of the city. If it was this small region with the airplane, then we can believe in this information. But I know it's not true, because our ministers said it's not true, our president said it's not true, and yesterday, like I told you before, I was speaking with my friend who only yesterday was in Bakhmut.
That's very clear. And do you think, because we see around Bakhmut, we see a lot of changes, that Ukraine gets more and more, they have kind of halfway surrounded Bakhmut. Do you think that maybe it's a tactical idea to give away a big part of Bakhmut and then come with some counter-attack or something? Is it maybe technical? Is it tactical?
You know, actually, for me, like for journalists, it's difficult to say that counter-attack, because when it was the situation in Kharkiv and part of Donetsk region last September and of October, it was close information. We just know that this site is closed right now. It's difficult situation there. You can't go there, but nobody knows that it's counter-attacked right now. You know, That's why, for me, it's very difficult. I think right now Ukrainian army do the same like do Russian army when they trying to get Bakhmut. They was closer around the city, taking some small villages, and was closer and closer. I think right now Ukrainian army do almost the same. They're trying to get around the city.
I think this will be continued, and we will hear about this a lot more in the following days, weeks, but hopefully it won't take too long. But also you were on your way to make a video for us. So where have you been to make the video?
If we speak about Bakhmut, it was 20 kilometers from Bakhmut, but this is also very close to front line. We was on a position with Ukrainian army. This position our army made in 2040 when the war began here in Donbass. And this position, it's not quiet. Here is always also shelling, Russian shelling. And we have a possibility to speak with our Ukrainian army, with the guys, how they standing there, what is going on. Let's see.
Нас всюди повністю видно. Якщо дивитися зі сторони Горлівки, ці всі терикони, нас дуже гарно видно звідси. Але, на жаль, іншої дороги нема.
Это участок фронта возле оккупированной Горловки, пожалуй, самая стабильная линия столкновения. Силы обороны занимают здесь господствующие высоты. Еще в начале полномасштабной войны россияне пытались продвигаться вперед, но понесли потери и перестали лезть. Однако стреляют здесь постоянно. Местность просматривается на многие километры. Двигаться надо быстро. Кроме того, в небе украинские защитники постоянно видят присутствие российских дронов.
Дрони піднімаються на таку гарну висоту, десь в районі 500 метрів. І потім з цієї висоти дуже гарно змальовують техніку, людей, бачать. І потім коригують оцим мішеням, коригують свою арту і мінометку.
Линия фронта здесь – это километры окопов с блиндажами и огневыми точками. У противника тоже. Эти позиции держит одно из подразделений, до этого воевавших в Бахмуте. Ребята рассказывают, против них стоят местные коллаборанты. Воюют они не очень охотно.
Проти нас стоять ДНР, і вони бояться просто. Ближче підходити, виходити, навіть деколи показати себе, що вони там є. Мусимо їх самі вогнем провокувати, чтобы побачить, чи дійсно вони є, чи немає.
Защитники говорят, это далеко не Бахмут, но расслабляться на войне с таким противником не стоит. Обстреливать украинские позиции россияне могут начать в любую секунду.
Іноді прилітає, теж кожен раз по-різному. Буває занадто тихо, а буває шмалять по повній. Це ось у пару днів назад прильот. Це дуже похоже на 120-й калібр, скоріш всього, що сюди прилетіло. Ну, нас десь далеко за нами працює мінометка, орки думають, що це вона звідси, і потім починає сюди пулять.
С начала полномасштабного вторжения россияне десятки раз перегруппировывались, скапливая свою живую силу и технику в разных направлениях. Не достигнув желаемого результата в Бахмуте, еще зимой этого года пытались прорвать украинскую оборону вблизи Угледара. Поэтому гарантии того, что это направление российские оккупанты не будут штурмовать в ближайшем будущем, минимальны.
Якщо поява ворога, що якби тут без цей, маємо наказ на ураження. Так, щоб на ураження відкрити, то по-любому, що фізично побачити. Ну а так як вони по нас стріляють, то відстрілюємося. То, ну і в загальному, то вночі стоїш, то краще лишній раз стрельнути, бо поле, ніч. Тут деколи таке буває, що таку руку витягуєш і не видно її.
Донецкая область специально для Фрэнки и Коэна.
Yes, Alona, if I see this, I also do understand how important are the drones. So we talked about it. We will also supply a few drones. We are busy with that. But if a drone is on 500 meters height, how will they notice that? I understand the other way around. Yeah, I understand that the drones see the soldiers. But how do the soldiers see the drones in time?
Not always they see the drones. Only it's all weather. Weather is very important to see the drone. If everything okay in the sky, they can see the drone in a high 420 meters, but not all the time.
And after what happened to you a few weeks ago, that you have been under shelling, I saw you again on the front. Are you not extra nervous after what happened a few weeks ago?
Yes, a little bit nervous, but I know that I have to do this. And yes, I'm nervous, I think 3 or 4 days. It was very difficult. It's not after my visit and shelling, we hear this shelling. Yes, it's after the information about the guys. You remember some of them is dying next day after we make this video.
Yeah,
that's why I was nervous, and good feeling was inside, very good. Not good, bad feeling was inside, you know. That's why. But I'm still here, I'm still working.
But by yourself, you when that happens, now you go into the field, you look by yourself more up if you see a drone, or?
No, we always asking, if we hear the drones, we always asking, is this Ukrainian drones or Russians? Actually,
but I mean, you look more now than before for the drones.
On me että sam тоже смотришь или ты видишь дрон, или это они для тебя смотрят?
You mean militaries? I don't understand.
Или ты сам тоже все время смотришь, или ты видишь?
I'm always watching. Before this situation, I'm always watching. One of my friends from Avdiivka, he's still working in Avdiivka, still standing because he is a military standing in Avdiivka. He always said, from the first day of the war, he always said, looking in the sky, always looking in the sky. I said, how I can know, is this Ukrainian or drone or Russian drones? We don't know it. He said, you have to watch. And if you watch the drones, always you don't have to understand it's Russian or Ukrainian. Just you have to hide.
Clear. Alyona, let me thank you very much again, not only for today, but for the whole season. It was 8 weeks in a row that you helped us and gave us a lot of information. And after the summer break, we really want to see you back again. We can count on you after that?
Yes, of course, guys. I miss you very much this time, but I think when you come back, we have some very good news.
Yeah, let's hope so. And maybe we see each other in Ukraine, because in June we will come to Ukraine, and we don't know exactly about the drones, if we can take them ourselves or something. We will have to find out, but we will keep in touch. Alyona, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, and then we almost are going to go to our special guest. Jan Willem, welcome.
Thank you for the invitation.
Very welcome. You are from On My Way UA, On My Way Ukraine. Yes, well, can you tell us a little bit about your organization, or would you like us to watch a small video first?
First the video.
Let's go to the video. On My Way UA Foundation, and this foundation is responsible for about 6% of all the Ukrainian refugees which are in the Netherlands.
Correct.
Your organization helped them to get from Poland, from the Ukrainian border, or from inside the Ukraine, to the Netherlands.
Yeah, and also in Ukraine, most from the border area, Poland-Ukraine, but also some in the Ukraine themselves, from Kiev or Lviv.
All right, correct. So about 6%. So how many refugees are in the Netherlands through your organization?
I checked today, it was about 5,500 Ukrainian people.
5,500 Ukrainian people.
That's unbelievable.
That's
How many buses is that full?
That is really about how many buses, because a lot of cars also, but a lot of kilometers, a lot of buses. I don't know really the exact rate of.
You said buses, cars.
Everything. Yeah. Also, the small buses, big cars, small cars, big vans. Yeah.
These are all kind of Ukrainian refugees.
Yeah.
And I understand in the first months of the war, we have been ourselves at the border, Przemyśl and near to Medica.
Me too.
That's probably the place where you picked up in the beginning of the war these people. But right now, are there still people coming from Ukraine here?
Yeah, still. It really depends on how the developments are into the Ukraine, of course. Sometimes come more, sometimes come less. We saw that in the winter came more this way because of the heating problems there with the gas, no electricity and things like that. Right now it's, I think, pretty stable, but it can really change. I don't know. I cannot say how it will be next week.
Because it depends on what's happening.
But there's every week a bus or cars going.
Every week, yeah, and almost every day, yeah.
How about people who want to go back? Do you also help these people to get back? Because I've spoken quite a lot of Ukrainian people who went back to Ukraine or were planning to go back. Will they also have transport through your organization?
Yeah, we help them as well. Although we want to watch out that we're not kind of bus company, like going and coming back and all the time, because then we cannot help other refugees. But sometimes there are really good reasons why Ukrainians have to be back in Kiev or something because of their passport, because of some other things, family circumstances. So we really help them as well if they want to come back.
Now, I sometimes get the question from people, well, is there not a lot of Ukrainian people here because of economical reasons or so? Of course, there are maybe some people here for that kind of reasons. But what do you think? Almost all those people who came from Ukraine here have very good reasons to go from their country here?
I think so. I daily meet so many Ukrainian refugees, and I really never had the feeling with one refugee like, okay, he or she's coming here for financial situation, because the situation is better here economically. I never felt that. Most of the Ukrainians want to come back. Want to go back.
Yes, we see it ourselves, because a lot of Ukrainian refugees which we have been talking to here, they tell their stories, and very often they have their husband fighting in the army. Yeah. They had to go through extreme situations to get from maybe occupied territory to here, or to near occupied territory, very dangerous areas to get here. So they have a story, but they also leave everything behind. People here forget that. Many houses are destroyed, but also many people have their house now there with their part of the family, and they don't know what's happening.
And also left their sons.
Yeah.
Because they cannot go to Europe because of the rules of Ukraine. But you go this way, but your son is still there.
I hardly see complete families, or the papa is still in the Ukraine because he, of course, is not allowed to go into the European Union or to the Netherlands. Also, I see grandmother or grandfather staying there because they are a little bit afraid to go to another country in which they don't know the language, etc.
Very often it's so that very old people, we see it in the East a lot, we spoke a lot of them, very often they are in the situation to say, I'm born here, I'll die here. Yeah. Sometimes they have animals, cows, they can't take their animals, or they are afraid to leave the house because they know that the house is going to be destroyed when they come back. Yeah. So elderly people very often stay for these kind of reasons, but whole families are torn apart.
Yeah, I see this so many times.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you also have children which come alone? without their parents?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I'm doubting. Sometimes yes, but mostly we really want that an adult has to be there, because it's really dangerous with children, minority children, because you don't know what's going to happen there, which might be dangerous. So.
But he means from Ukraine to Holland.
Yeah.
You have.
No, we know that in some parts that people bring their children somewhere, but probably most of them stay in Ukraine. But they think it's not responsible to leave to stay with their kid in eastern parts, for example. We have been in Le Mans, for example. There I spoke to a woman with child, 5 or 6 year old, and to be honest, I had the feeling, how can you be here with your child? It's extremely dangerous. But we spoke also to people who say that they have their children taken to a children's home, or to family who lives in a safer area. So we thought maybe there's also children coming here alone. But
I did not see too many of them, but maybe there are some. I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
But it is not alone your organization do people, but also goods to Ukraine.
Yeah.
What kind of goods are?
This is really all kind of things. Like right now in my car, I have wheelchairs, about 5, and they will go to the Ukraine. And we get them by the people who are looking at marketplace. And then they ask for all kind of goods are provided there, as you know. And now I have, for instance, wheelchairs with me going into the Ukraine later.
That's good.
It can be everything. Can be really everything.
But what
is
what they ask now? What they need the most?
What's the need?
Yeah, well, wheelchairs right now is really necessary.
That's for the army,
of the
of
war
course.
and the
soldiers wounded.
Yeah, wounded. So many people. That is really necessary right now. Yeah.
And you guys also do food and this kind of things?
Yeah, food we also do, and also baby meal, baby things, things like that. We do less clothes, because right now really so many clothes are in the border area. I saw them with my own eyes.
Yes, we see them also.
We saw that also.
Yeah.
It's very often that people give similar kind of things. They give all kind of toys for children, like dolls and teddy bears and things like that, and clothing.
Yeah, but clothes for army.
Clothes for army. Yeah.
They ask for that a lot.
Yeah.
Because when a soldier gets wounded, and the leg is broken or something, they just cut the pants off, but he don't have anything with him.
Yeah, but on my way it was more for civilians, not for soldiers, so not for the army.
Yeah, and this is there already a big percentage of the people which you took from Ukraine to the Netherlands? Is there a big part already went back?
Some of them have been back for just for a moment, but most of them still here. Yeah, that's what I see. Yeah, and sometimes, like I said before, sometimes they need to go because of really personal reasons, like maybe a funeral of someone relative who died or something. But most of them are still here.
You talk to a lot of refugees.
Yeah.
Where they are worried about right now in this war, what they see, how they react on it.
Yeah, of course they watch every day the news on that Telegram and everything. They know more about what's going on there than our NOS Journaal.
We know that.
Always the latest.
if the news here is fast, then it's one day late.
Yeah. That's what I see also.
But I mean, what they worry about, is it still their homes? Oh. Is there the city where they lived before?
Yeah, everything really. I mean, they don't know what's going on in their house if no one is there. They don't know what's going on with relatives of them if they are still there. Yeah, they are here and they're really grateful to us. But you feel that their heart is there and they're worried.
If these people are here, did they get also other kind of support from On My Way UA? Will you accompany them with going to the local governments, or if they need to go to the hospital, or if they need to have some income or something, or if they want to work? Is On My Way UA also involved in these kind of things?
Yeah, also with wounded soldiers like Andrew. He was here in your show a couple of weeks ago. I help him a lot with performances. Sometimes he has to go to the hospital. We are doing these kinds of things also. And what we do also a lot is being a buddy, which means that, I mean, I'm from the Netherlands, I know my country, I know the language, and these people are in another country where they don't know the language, and then it's nice to have some kind of older brother or something, buddy, to help them with all kind of things.
Great job.
Yeah, it's really, I'm really grateful to do this. I'm really, despite the situation, of course.
Yes, of course, but it gives you a good feeling to help.
It always feels great to help other people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you about this information. And I think we're going to go to Rick.
Why are you fighting? We are fools. This is why we're fighting. Have many died? So many.
For Ukraine.
Hi, Rick.
Hi, guys.
How are you today?
A bit tired, but there are great news today outside now. Not here in Kiev, but in Russia, in Belgorod region.
Yeah, there's a lot of news. There's a lot of going on. So much things to watch now, and it's very difficult to follow up with what's happening in Bakhmut, what's happening in the other eastern parts of Ukraine, what's happening now in Russia. A lot. What actually? Let's keep Belgorod for a little later. What else did you see in the news? Because there's a lot that has happened so much this week.
Okay, first I wanted to talk with you about the Russian attacks, constant rocket missile attacks and Shahid drones, and I actually made a video. Yeah, let's watch it. So it was 16th, I guess it was the night from Monday to Tuesday, and there were 6 aeroballistic missiles, those Kinjals. Russians were trying to presumably hit the Patriot systems with those, but they did not succeed. They also launched around 20 other missiles and 10 more ballistic missiles of different types. Also 6 Shahid drones. But as you can see, we repaired the Patriot system really fast, just with a plaster. And then next night, I guess it was, it's now changing too fast, but okay, there were some rockets, around 20 rockets that night. Next night it was 15 Shahids, and next night it was 20 Shahid drones. Russians are constantly sending them here to Kiev and trying to hit a lot of objects. Mostly, I guess they're trying to hunt at least those systems, air defense systems of ours. Of Ukraine, but they're not good at it because those systems can eliminate any missile, just as it's shown now, as we all see now. And it's great. I just feel much safer now when we have Patriots outside.
It's unbelievable how much they caught out of the air. And it was really funny, like you showed, the reparation of the what's it called?
Patriot system.
The Patriot system. They said they've hit it and they destroyed it. Well, kind of a plaster, and that was it. So everything is working well in the defense. It's unbelievable because in total, how many missiles lately have been going in your direction? Yeah, launched in your direction, and how much is taken out in total? It's 98% or something. What they took out?
I guess the rate is really high right now, especially when they're sending it to Kiev. But mostly they're sending it to Kiev. But unfortunately, this night, I guess, tonight, they've sent them to Dnipro. And from 20 rockets, 12 hit their targets. A lot of people were injured. And it's hard to sleep lately.
Oh, okay.
Dnipro. It's hard to sleep lately. Air raid alarm every night. You can hear the rockets, air defense rockets, flying off to destroy those objects in the sky. This is why it's sometimes really hard to to have some energy. This is why we need to sleep more somehow. I don't know why. How.
Yeah, just to get it clear to the viewers, Rick is in Kiev, and in Kiev almost all night. I hear the same. My wife Tanya, her sister's also in Kiev, and they get to no sleep because all night through they hear air defense. So if you work hard in the daytime and you get no chance to sleep, you look tired, Rick, but this explains it a lot.
But you have a nice shirt on.
Yeah,
especially for us.
It's actually Ukrainian vyshyvanka. Thank you for noticing, Coen. It's our ethnic clothes, national ethnic clothes, Ukrainian. Actually, it's having its rebirth. A lot more people starting to wear it. And this week we had the Vyshyvanka Day, actually the day of our, ethnic shirts. So this is why I'm wearing it. I have my first finally.
Yeah. Everything looks good on Rick.
Yeah, that's so, yeah. Even our badge.
If I knew it was the National Day, I would have wear mine also.
Here it is.
You wear them.
By the way, I just wanted to mention real quick that Patriot system is not easy to hit because it's decentralized. It has many elements like multiple radars, multiple launcher systems. This is why it should be hit like with 20 missiles, then it only can be destroyed. But it's almost impossible because Patriot system itself is neutralizing those missiles. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, clear. Well, that was, of course, in the news because, it's very important that the air defense is working well. But there was a lot more in the news, mainly today.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. And maybe you have a video.
No. We already showed a video in our news, but yes, it's not clear what's happening. Well, it's clear that there's something happening in Belgorod, but not so clear. What's your opinion? What do you think is happening?
Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be just my opinion. I don't have any official information. I'm not a military expert, but what I can see is actually, let me begin from the very beginning, yes. So RDK, Russian Democratic Corps, is the unit inside Ukrainian army, but it consists only of Russians. So they are Russians who want to fight for their independence from Putin's regime. They want to liberate their country. And there's a second unit that is called Freedom of Russia or For Russia. There are two versions in English. But they united not so long ago, about 2 weeks ago. And now we know why they are united. They entered, they made some videos about that. They've entered Belgorod region today with some armored vehicles and with a couple of tanks. There was also an artillery preparation. There were some videos of them bombing the FSB checkpoint there on the border. And they are reporting today about taking some villages. They call it liberation, and I actually think that's what it is. They've liberated a few of them, a few of villages, and now they are fighting for the town of, actually I forgot the name of it, but it doesn't matter. It's in Belgorod region. It's not a village, it's a town now. They're fighting for it, and you guys are showing the video now. Yeah, there were some helicopters, and one helicopter was also shot down in Belgorod region, one Russian helicopter. It was Mi-8, and it was actually pretty far from the villages that they were coming in. So it's strange how could it been shot, and I think it might be even shot by Russians themselves. So maybe you have some more questions about that.
Yeah, well, firstly, I want to have your opinion, but I think that Belgorod is very important because many missiles which go into Ukraine are being fired from Belgorod. Belgorod is actually maybe the #1 location from where attacks to Ukraine are coming from. I guess so. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. Belgorod was the... do you have the word Platzdarm?
Once again?
Platzdarm.
No.
Okay, so it was a territory that was constantly used to launch rockets into Ukraine. Russians use it constantly, and we actually need this demilitarized zone, like 100 kilometers from our border, to keep our territory safe. This is why Russian partisans, these units, will be a great power to make this demilitarized zone possible, to create it. And actually, we have a comment from our Kirill Budanov. He's the head of our intelligence. He said that Russian forces now making this demilitarized zone happening. So we actually have the official position of this.
Yeah, and then we saw things happened at the border. Is this the border north of Kharkiv in direction Belgorod, or is it another border where we saw there has been also some fights?
This is, I guess it's from Kharkiv region. Belgorod is connected to Kharkiv region, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and
it's north of Kharkiv.
Yeah, they were making some reconnaissance, like diversions before that. These two units, they were coming into Russia in Bryansk region. It's another region, I guess. It's bordering probably Chernihiv region, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Well, actually, it's not all clear. In fact, we don't know too much yet. It's happened just the last few hours, so news is slowly coming in. And official statement from the Ukraine is that it's not Ukrainian army. It's Russian volunteers. Sorry?
We're not there. You remember the famous phrase said by Putin?
Yeah, we're not there. Yeah. Well, anyway, this I think will continue. Any
just
other?
A small thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, just a small thing. Just while you were doing the first part of the stream, I was watching the Telegram news, and I saw videos from there that Russian Democratic Corps has actually captured some trophies. They were riding the BMP-82, a Russian armored vehicle. So yeah, there are some new videos appearing from there, and they're going to be definitely appearing today also, and tomorrow, and the upcoming days.
Yeah. Then I thought you were also, well, I think we're also going to talk about the treatment of the Russian soldiers in captivity, because we see very often we see that the Ukrainian soldiers which come back, they have been in an exchanging program with Russian soldiers, that they look very unhealthy, not taken care of, wounded sometimes, starved.
Let's maybe watch the video how they are actually treated.
In Ukraine?
In Ukraine. Three times per day. They've been fed 3 times per day, actually.
Yes, and to be honest, if I was a Russian soldier, I would love to be in the Ukraine prison if I compare that with being on the battlefield. What do you think?
Sometimes it's even better to be in Ukrainian captivity than be free in Russia. You know, free, like not actually free. But you know that a lot of people there in Russia, they live under the poverty wage, and they are just in such a terrible conditions that Ukrainian captivity might seem pretty cool. They actually don't have to work there. They might just rest all the time and rest and eat. By the way, Jan, hi. I forgot to say hi to you, and thank you for everything you're doing to Ukrainian people, for all the help you're providing, you and your organization. Thank you so much. We really value and appreciate every single person who helps Ukraine. So thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, so the soldiers in captivity, I think they have been treated well, and we saw something with our own eyes in the Izum area. We saw soldiers, wounded soldiers, been treated in a hospital. We were not allowed to film, but we saw with our own eyes. They got treated like I don't think any worse than how would been treated Ukrainian soldiers, which is all the respect for that, because it's very difficult to treat your enemy right.
Yes, and by the way, I wanted to add some things that I watched from Zolkin's videos. He was showing the camp, the prisoner camp, and he was showing what do they do there and what actually perks they have. For example, they can receive some not post, but you know that. I actually don't remember the English word, guys, but they can receive some packages from their relatives to Ukraine, not exactly from Russia, but their Russian relatives can contact some volunteers in Ukraine who can be buying some stuff by the money that Russians are sending to these organizations. So these organizations buying the stuff for Russians and giving it to them into the camp.
Yeah, but of course we have to think about it. Not all Russians are bad, and we have on a video a very interesting example of a guy who has been convicted to 7 years in jail in Russia because he posted something on Facebook not really pro-Russian. Let's have a look.
Славна Україна зажурилася, а минулю червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну розвеселимо. Уважаемый, да,
That is something. He has been just convicted to 7 years in jail, and he shows his support to Ukraine by singing this song. He's not afraid.
But also, what I see, that a couple of guys put also their hands on the glass.
Yeah. So there were some.
And there were a couple of persons around him there. They're also pro-Ukraine.
Yeah, I guess there are some Russians who are pro-Ukrainian, but you know. After everything Russia did to Ukrainian people, I think the best way, and I think the only respectable way to help Ukraine is to fight for Ukraine, just like Legion Freedom of Russia is doing, and Russian Democratic Corps. They are doing the best deed that they can do right now to help Ukraine.
True.
And guys, actually, I've heard that you were coming to Ukraine in June. Can you give us the details when it's going to be?
Well, it's not sure if we go on the 9th or the 16th of June.
One of the two.
So in the second half of June or halfway June, we will come to Ukraine. We don't know exactly the exact dates.
No.
We don't know the exact locations yet.
But it will be straight to the Donbass.
I think we will go. We will also visit probably orphanage on our way there. It's not far away from Kiev. But then I think we will go to, everything of course is depending on the situation on that moment. We're not taking high risks, but how it looks like, we will go to a similar area like last time, so in the Donbass. We don't know the exact locations.
Yeah. But I hope that there are locations that just be freed from the Russians and give the people.
Who knows? We will fry fries. We will show the people our support. Maybe we will have some other projects which we want to work on or work with, and we have some special treats for Ukrainians which we're going to bring. We're busy also with drones.
Yeah,
we're busy with different kind of things.
But
we want to show our support to Ukraine, that's for sure. And halfway when we are there, we pass Kiev, so maybe we'll see you on our way also, who knows, or on our way back.
Yeah, I would love to see you guys. I would love to meet again and to talk to you personally. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, first thing what we have to do when we are in Ukraine is repair our trailer, at least the oven, to fry the fries.
Going to receive the part this week.
Yes.
They're donated to us. That's very fine.
Yep. So I think we will see, but we will fry fries as many as possible. But we want to show the people also there our support, and I think it's not only our support, but also support of our supporters, and a lot of Western people who are behind Ukraine. I think, yeah, we would love to show that. Before we end the show of today, we still have a small video about Russian propaganda, because it's funny that in the news in Russia not always everything is true. And we found a video, we saw a video which we could not keep away from you guys. We have to show you.
Прямо сейчас мы находимся в Мариуполе под обстрелом украинских боевиков. Мы слышим...
Раша, это Киев. Не то. Ёб твою мать. Ну.
Прямо сейчас... Нет?
Вот, да.
Нормально. Прямо сейчас мы находимся под обстрелом украинских боевиков.
So, she's telling she's under attack from Ukrainians and that she's on the location, and yeah, just funny to watch. This is kind of the end of our show. Rick, firstly, we want to thank you for this whole season. Every episode you were in our show and giving us the latest information and your view on everything that happened in Ukraine. It's our last show of this season, so it's also the last badge which I can give away. This one is going to Jan Willem.
Thank you.
Our badge. Jan Willem, thank you very much for joining us, and
thank you for your invitation.
Also for all the help you give to Ukrainians here and all your support.
Guys, may I have a word?
Yeah, yeah, you can, Rick.
I also wanted to thank you for this amazing season. You had so many amazing guests. You had so many amazing videos and topics, and I know that it's actually hard work that you're doing to make this show happening. And guys, you are just the best. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for Ukraine. Not just this, but you're doing more. You go in there and feed people all the time, and it makes me so happy that we have such friends as you do. I was so lucky to meet you guys back in the days, and I am happy to be doing this together with you, and I look forward for more shows for the new season, and people will be definitely watching this, and they like it. I know that.
Next season, for sure, we want you to have you here. I also want to thank Tanya, she's my wife, for translating all from Ukrainian to Dutch and helping me helping us finding the right videos and subtitling and everything. Sorry?
Sometimes.
And with the music. I also want to thank everybody from Q Broadcasting who are also right now still working with us. So everybody who was involved with this show, all our guests earlier, everybody, thank you very much. And we're going to see you guys next season, maybe in 8 or 10 weeks. We will get back on to you guys. Thank you all very much. Thank you for watching Franky and Coen's Ukraine Insight. Once again, Jan Willem, thank you very much. Once again, Coen, thank you.
And you, Franky.
See you guys. Host. Thank you and bye-bye.